Aloha Cabrinha peeps. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just got some of the new Fusion pieces in. Gonna go have a session on some of the new foil gear, and I thought, you know what, let's just run you guys through it real quick. It's all modular, so you can kind of pick and choose all the pieces. The assembly couldn't be easier, so today I'm just gonna show you guys how to put it all together. Hang on tight, it's gonna be a quick one. All right, let's get started. So on the alloy kit, the first thing you wanna do is attach the mast to the top plate. It only fits on one way. We'll just drop it right on. Go ahead and put the 3 screws in. Just like so. And then we're just gonna use the small Torx driver to tighten everything down. And for this, just like the other stuff we're about to do, you wanna kind of tighten everything down a little bit at a time, because what that'll do is help level the top plate onto the mast. So you don't wanna crank one down all the way. We're good to go, and now we're ready to mount it to the board. So it doesn't really matter if you have the carbon or alloy setup or anything hybrid in between. Everything goes together pretty much identically. There's a slight difference in technique on how you attach the mast and plate to the board. So we'll show you both, all right? So starting with the alloy is you're just gonna take the mounting screws and just thread them ever so slightly. Just start the threads, and you can see I have the other ones here done here as well. And I'm just gonna take and put one in each corner, just like this. Now with the mounting screws in place, next step is to take the mast and top plate. I'm using the short one just for an example, although this does make an excellent training tool for any of you that are new to foiling. Super unintimidating, really user-friendly. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that right on the tracks. I happen to like the setup to be kind of right in the middle. It gives me room to adjust both ways when I'm riding, so I'm gonna set it up in the middle. So what I'll do is just line it up there and go ahead and take these screws. And if you've let off enough thread, you can actually just slide them, if the groove is lined up, right into place and drop them into the countersink. So slide them over the bump, through the groove, drop them right into place. If they feel like they're a little bit tight, all you gotta do is give it like half a turn. It should go right in. Just means you went a little too far when starting the threads. All right, so with the screws now in place, all you gotta do is take one of the supplied Torx drivers. The smaller one is to put all the foil pieces together. The larger driver is actually to mount the system to the board. Okay, so we're gonna take the larger of the two and just screw these guys down. And I like to do kind of one at a time and go about 90% of the way there, so everything kind of settles in evenly. You don't wanna just screw one down super tight all the way. The trick to keep from bumping the mast here is just angle the driver out ever so slightly, and then you can make adjustments just like this. All right, so we're good to go on this piece. So for those of you that have upgraded to first class and went full carbon all the way, the mounting technique to get the mast plate onto the board is just slightly different, and it's mainly because there's no grooves in the plate here. It's just the countersunk holes, and this kind of gives you maximum rigidity. So to get that together is the first thing that I like to do is take 2 of the screws like we did before, just started the threads on the T-nuts. I'm gonna take these 2 and just drop them into the top, slide them all the way in, and then once they're in, undo the threads, take the bolt out, and leave the T-nut sitting in there. With the remaining 2, you're gonna use the opposite side. So since I slid the T-nuts on this one into the top side of the track, I'm gonna start these on the bottom. So I'm gonna drop a bolt right into the back and start one of these T-nuts. Just a few threads there, just to get it to hold in place. Same thing on the opposite side. With 2 bolts in the back here ready to go, I'm gonna make sure and line these up so they are vertically oriented so they drop into the track. And I'm gonna drop these guys right in. And with them in place, I'll go ahead and slide this back. And again, I like the setup to be kind of in the middle, so that's where I'm gonna put it. Once this is set where you like it, take one of the Torx drivers and just guide the T-nuts that you left in the top of the track right over the mounting holes, just like that. With that, you can take the 2 remaining bolts, drop them right in, and then take the larger of the 2 Torx drivers and get those guys threaded. Again, just angle the driver out slightly so you don't bump the mast, and you should feel it catching, no problem. And we just wanna go till we feel it stop, because we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down evenly on all 4 corners, okay? Just till it stops. It's not even really tight yet. And then once they kind of start getting tighter, I'll go ahead and crank all 4 down so we have even pressure all the way around. All right, so now the mast is on and we're ready to go there. Let's get all the foil pieces themselves together. Like I mentioned before, the new Fusion system is totally modular. So I have the 1600 and a hybrid setup ready to go here. So that's the one we're gonna put together. Super simple. The first step is to go ahead and attach the fuselage. Just gonna go ahead and join the two pieces like so. Drop the screw in. Longer screw goes in the front, shorter screw goes in the back. Gonna take the smaller Torx driver. It's the one you're gonna use for all the foil bits. And just go ahead and tighten that guy down. Okay. Next we're gonna wanna put on the rear stabilizer. That drops right on top, just like this. Two short screws right in the back. Again, smaller Torx driver. Screw those guys down. Okay, one final check to make sure everything's nice and snug. So now that we have the wing set all assembled and ready to go, let's go ahead and drop it right onto the mast. Go ahead and line that up. It's just these 3 mounting screws that drop right into the top here. And it's the same thing as before. You just want to go ahead and screw them until they stop. And then from there, we're going to tighten individually to kind of help settle the fuselage, the front section of the fuselage here onto the mast nice and evenly. Okay, just take your time with this one at a time. The idea is to make sure everything settles nice and evenly, and it's the same tension on all 3. And that's it, we're ready to go. Enjoy our new Fusion system. Look forward to seeing you guys on the water. Aloha.